You might find this hard to believe, but I'm not a natural redhead. But I do have the skin of a redhead. So, just like I go to the hairdressers to touch up my colour, I get my skin checked regularly. Dr. Stretch, there's a lot of seriousness around melanoma. What are the statistics like?
Well, melanoma is a very important cancer in Australia. It's the third most common cancer overall for the country. But for young Australians aged 15 to 40, it is the most common form, and that's a very startling statistic.
And the rates are increasing?
The reality is that there are more than 1,400 patients a year who die from this disease, and that's a very significant number. That's more than our national road toll. In fact, over recent years, the road toll has been trending down. Our mortality rate from melanoma, with the increasing incidence of it, is slowly increasing.
But there is some good news.
Yes, there certainly is good news about melanoma. Firstly, the public are becoming more aware and they're engaging in preventative strategies to help reduce the incidence of melanoma, hopefully, going forward. They're also more aware of what might represent a melanoma, and they're being identified in many instances earlier.
But as always, prevention's better than the cure.
Absolutely.
Now, there's a lot I'll do for a good story, but I'm not taking my kid off. However, I have found a stunt double. It's MasterChef's Hayden Quinn.
Hello, Shelley. How are you?
Hayden, ever since I saw you on TV, I've been wanting to ask you one question.
Yes?
Can you please take your shirt off?
Right now?
Yeah, come on.
Really?
It's for a skin check.
That's true. Come on, let's do it.
Let's do it!
Okay.
So, Hayden, what got you passionate about this?
I think, for me, I'm very passionate about it because Australia is an environment that's covered with sun, and I'm a very active person, and I'm one of the high-risk groups. I'm in the sun every day. I was a professional lifeguard, and I'm in that 14 to 55-year-old age bracket where this cancer is the most prevalent cause of death.
How often do you get checked?
I get checked about once every 6 months, and if I was checking at home, I'm looking once a month just to make sure that nothing's changed, and if there is a considerable change, then I'll come and see Pascal and she'll look through her little microscope and make sure we're okay.
So Jay, you were diagnosed with stage 3 melanoma. Tell me a bit about your story.
Yeah, so the last 6 months of 2007, I had this mole on my left ankle that was there my whole life, but it kept scabbing up and bleeding and showing all the signs of a melanoma, but I had no idea. I was a truck driver working long hours, and I just thought maybe it's a blister from my work, but it was only the persistence of my wife that said, go and get this thing checked. I finally went and got it checked, and it turns out it was a melanoma.
And what do you think caused it?
My surgeon is adamant that my solarium use played a part in my diagnosis. So I used to go to the gym, and being a young bloke, you just go and, you want to look good and improve your physique. And yeah, I thought it was a good thing to go and use a solarium and get a bit of a tan, but turns out it nearly cost me my life. And
you ended up with a pretty gnarly scar.
Yeah, I had 44 staples from my stomach down halfway down my thigh, so it was a bit scary at the start to think that, but now it's like, it's a reminder that why you've got to be sun smart and to keep pushing and get that message out there and try and save as many lives as I can.
Now you campaign to stop sunbeds.
Yeah, so I campaigned around Australia to get a national ban, and so far it's looking pretty good.
So what advice would you give blokes who've got a mole they're a little bit worried about?
If you've got a wife or someone in your family telling you to go and get something checked on your skin, go and do it, because it could save your life, and it's probably a good idea that if you can't see spots on your back, maybe get your wife or your partner to have a look. Yeah, and you're working outside, put the sunscreen on, the hat, the sunnies, because, it's not worth it.
Like all serious health issues, when it comes to melanoma, prevention is better than treatment. So make sure you wear sunscreen, sunnies and a hat.
And if you're an Aussie bloke, don't let cancer come to you. Make sure you grab a checkup.